Okay, thank you, everyone. Welcome to our webinar introducing Sentinel Endpoint Detection and Response. My name is Tawengwa Toronga. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Procom Technologies. We are excited to actually have you attending this webinar today. And thank you so much for joining. And we are very excited to have you here to explore SentinelOne, which is a leading autonomous AI cybersecurity platform. We believe that this session will provide you with valuable insights into the endpoint detection and response technologies and how SentinelOne can actually enhance your organizational security posture. You should obviously expect a lot from this session. Looking at the SentinelOne capabilities in the threat detection and response landscape, the discussion about the importance of EDR in the modern cybersecurity strategy, and looking obviously at some of the real-world case studies showcasing SentinelOne's effectiveness and why some of the leading organizations in the world have actually chosen SentinelOne as their platform of choice. And obviously we'll have also a Q&A session at the end of this presentation where you can ask any questions that you might have. For some of the housekeeping issues, please note that your microphones have actually been muted during this presentation to actually minimize background noise. If you have got any questions, please, there is a Q&A feature that you can actually post your questions and we'll obviously be able to answer those. And this webinar is being recorded. A link will be provided at the end of this webinar. Please feel free to connect with us on our social media platforms and also share your thoughts using our hashtag SentinelOne webinar. So with no further ado, I would like to obviously introduce the SentinelOne team. And I'll give over to Sefa from SentinelOne to introduce SentinelOne team. Thank you.
Sefa's gone missing. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I see Sefa is not here.
It's okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Eben, maybe you can take over. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll jump in there quickly. Good day, everybody. Thank you for affording me an opportunity today to talk to you a bit more about SentinelOne, the SentinelOne ecosystem, and how we aim to facilitate risk reduction in your environment by providing you with best of breed capabilities. So, as I said, my name is Evan Patti. I am the solutions engineer for English-speaking Africa for SentinelOne. A bit about myself. I've been in IT for about 29 years now. During that time, I've done a great many things. I've participated in a lot of different disciplines, from development to database administration, information security, information risk, cyber forensic investigations, insider threat hunting, incident response, and then endpoint protection platforms. For the last 4.5 years, I've been working with SentinelOne as a product, where I was primarily responsible for the implementation, operational caretake, incident response, and so on and so forth for large organizations in Africa. About 2 years ago, I actually joined SentinelOne from an OEM perspective, And if you don't know it yet, I think by the end of the session, it will be clear. But my blood is not red, it's actually purple. All right. As Mr. Toronga had said, if there are questions, please use the Q&A functionality. If there's something that you'd like for us to elaborate more on, feel free to put that in there as well. And we will then be in touch. And if we can't answer those questions today, we can then schedule one-on-one time with you to give you a bit of a deeper understanding of the SentinelOne ecosystem, the SentinelOne platform. So I'm going to share my screen now, and I'd just like if you just get the right screen. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay. Just let me know if you can see my screen, please. Mr. Can you just confirm
Yes,
that
we
we've
can
got a
see your
general
screen.
consensus? Fantastic. Thank you very much. Ooh, we way ahead. I do apologize for that. All right. Welcome. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the Singularity platform. Okay. Now, the word platform is not there by coincidence. All right. SentinelOne as a company is dedicated to providing solutions to our customers to facilitate their security in their environments. So our motto is to secure tomorrow. Now the question is, how do we actually do that? How can we make such a bold claim? I'm so glad you asked. Let me take you on a journey and show you what it is that we offer, and then elaborate on why we believe that this would be a great asset in your security estate for your organization. Right. So what are some of the challenges facing companies today? Well, that's really very simple. Okay. For the most part, all the organizations that I've gotten to deal with have got way too many security tools in their estate. That complicates managing your security environment, because what happens now, you've got disjointed data all over the place, and you need an extremely skilled team to be able to make sense of all those various security systems that you have. Now, the other downfall of that is you do not have a holistic view, typically, of those various security components. So getting to the bottom of what is actually happening in your environment takes a long time. And therefore, you need the expertise to actually be able to do that. That brings us nicely into the next column. Worldwide, there is an extreme shortage of skilled cybersecurity personnel. And when you find those resources, they are extremely expensive. And then to find that resource with the appropriate experience for your environment is further complicating your security risk to your organization, because now you find a cybersecurity expert. He needs a time to adjust to your environment, learn new skills, learn new products before he becomes effective in your environment. The other challenge that we're facing is digital transformation, right? If we look at pre-COVID times, where it was very easy to actually protect your infrastructure. You put down a perimeter defense, you ran AV on the endpoint, and Bob's your uncle, you were protected. With COVID, that forced us to reevaluate what our perimeter actually looked like, because we could no longer apply traditional protection mechanisms for a distributed workforce, because we did not have the perimeter to defend us from attacks, right? Therefore, we bought more and more tools to give us that visibility. But once again, if you do not have an holistic view of what's happening, you are facing an extreme challenge. And now you've got a user working off-site, no longer protected behind a perimeter firewall. How do you then protect that endpoint? Okay. What does this all mean? It means that you are increasing your attack surface, therefore increasing your risk exposure from a cybersecurity perspective. Now, where does SentinelOne come from?
Hi, Eben. Good day, all. Apologies for that. We're waiting for Eben to reconnect. It seems like he lost his connection. Thank you. Hi everyone. Once again, our apologies for losing our presenter. Eben, can you confirm you can hear us?
Tawek, but I can't hear you. I think Evan has an internet connection, right? Problem.
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, I see he has joined, but seems like we can't get him. So sure.
Hi everyone. I would like to mention about myself. I am Sefa Amit from SentinelOne. I am serving as a regional channel manager for Turkey, Gulf, and Africa. And apologize from you about this technical issue that Evan is going to be join. Till Evan to be join, I would like to mention about the SentinelOne, the platform vision, and when the Evan will continue to explain as well. As all of you know that the SentinelOne, most of you know that SentinelOne is based on the EDR solutions we have, but rather than the EDR, we have a platform. This platform vision to let us to cover the end-to-end security needed of our customers. So Evan has joined, so I am leaving the stage to Evan again. Thank you so much for your understanding. Evan, the stage is yours. Welcome again.
Thank you, Sefa. I do apologize for that. I want to get this on the road as quickly as possible again. Okay. So about 14 years ago, SentinelOne entered the market with the aim of disrupting the traditional antivirus environment. There was a couple of shortcomings with AV, and they're most definitely more pronounced today than ever before. Okay. With traditional AV, you're reliant on signature files and sandboxing for the detection capability. Now, what happens is that you are dependent on somebody else being breached or the OEM to do research in order to provide you with a new signature file to protect you against emerging threats. In today's environment, that is no longer feasible because we're dealing with a distributed workforce. You need something that is not going to require constant caretake in the form of signature updates and so on and so forth, to protect your environment effectively. With that, SentinelOne came in and we produced the very first next-gen AV based solely on AI and machine learning. What does that mean? It means that we offer you autonomous protection against emerging threats and existing threats. Okay. Why do I say that? It's very simple. We don't use signature files. We don't use sandboxing. We use AI and machine learning on the actual endpoint itself so that we can react to threats at machine speed. After the launch of our next-gen AV, because we were collecting so much telemetry, EDR was a natural progression for us. Then we realized that a lot of organizations have many security tools. That led us to a natural progression to XDR, or Extended Detection and Response. The whole aim of this progression is to facilitate and streamline security processes in the organization. We then introduced cloud workload protection, protection for your containerized environment, and so on and so forth. Where we're heading and where we are today is looking at automating incident analytics, strengthening our AI machine learning capabilities, bringing you into the future of cybersecurity. So the Singularity platform, very simply put, what we want to present you with is a single console and platform, a very quick time to value. In other words, something that's easy to deploy, easy to configure, and can actually add value to your organization in a very short space of time. Lower total cost of ownership. Now, we're not just talking about it from a licensing or cost perspective. Remember your traditional antivirus? The amount of hours your SOC team spends on looking through logs, alerts, all those kinds of things. We're talking about total cost of ownership savings across resources as well, not just from a licensing perspective. We present you with a unified data lake, or an AI SIM, a single data lake where you can host or ingest all your security telemetry, giving you an holistic view across all your security apparatus. We give you an open ecosystem with best-of-breed tools. In other words, we want to enable you to improve your return on investment on existing tools that you already have, utilizing things like a unified data lake, like a single console, a single platform. We offer you unprecedented protection. We are a MITRE leader with 100% prevention for the last 5 years running. We want to facilitate the automation of your SOC workflows, saving you time so that you can focus on the things that matter in your environment. The last piece is that platform needs to be easy to use. If it's difficult to use, we are inhibiting your SOC teams, your response personnel, from being efficient and dealing with threats as they arise as quickly as possible. For that, this is what the Singularity platform would look like. At the end of the day, the key to any good security organization or security capability is the data that you collect and that you have visibility on. For that, we offer Singularity Data Lake, or AI SIM. Into the data lake or the AI SIM, then you can ingest any form of data. whether that be structured data, semi-structured data, or unstructured data. We conform to the OCSF standard, but it doesn't mean that you have to ingest your data in those various formats. On top of that, we put down the Singularity platform, which is supercharged with Purple AI. So most of the time, the question I get is, what is Purple AI? The short answer to that is that Purple AI is your very first natural language progressive AI built specifically with SOC operations in mind. Now, from the Singularity platform, we can enable various capabilities. The first of those is AI SIM. So we give you autonomous view across your security data. On top of that, we give you the ability to do automation and custom detection and response. We give you the ability to build dashboarding to track the metric that matters in your environment. Next to that, we've got endpoint and identity. Okay, from an endpoint perspective, we are the leader in endpoint protection in the market today. Couple that with EDR and XDR, once again, wanting to give you that holistic experience across your security data. Identity is not about managing privileged access or managing access for identity. The identity capability is specifically there to protect your identity. Why does that become important? In the great majority of threats to an organization, the attacker would go for low-hanging fruit. They wouldn't go after your database server or your Active Directory infrastructure immediately because they know those would typically be better protected than the workstation. When they breach the workstation, what's the very first thing they do? They enumerate identity on that workstation. Why do they do that? Very simply, they want to do privilege escalation so that they can perform lateral movement to get to your crown jewels. Now, in the identity space, there's three distinct modules. One is for posture management across your Active Directory assets. The other is the protection of those Active Directory assets. And the third component is identity threat detection and response, which actually runs on the endpoint. Now, why do I want to protect identity on the endpoint? Very good question. The answer is that as your user uses a workstation, they log on to various applications. They log on to their email, log on to via Active Directory. It might be an administrator's machine that does remote sessions to critical services and so on and so forth. All of those logon processes or those logon credentials are actually saved on the endpoint. And that is what the attacker is after. So with identity threat detection and response, we protect identity on the actual endpoint itself. We can also offer cloud protection capabilities. If you are utilizing AWS S3 buckets for data storage, we can protect the data in those S3 buckets. Cloud workload security. So if you're running containerized environments, we can do real-time protection on those containerized environments, ensuring immutability of those containers. Now, the third component in that is cloud native security. Cloud native security is there to provide you with posture management across your public cloud infrastructure, being Azure, AWS, Alibaba, DigitalOcean, Oracle Cloud, and Google Cloud. Next to that is exposure management. Why is exposure management so critical to your security posture? It's very simple. The idea behind exposure management is to identify the security risks in your environment making them visible, giving you the opportunity to mitigate those risks in order to create a smallest possible attack footprint. From a services perspective, we can offer various services from managed detection and response to threat hunting services, to threat intel services, guided onboarding services, and so forth. So let's look at each of those components in a bit more detail. The Singularity endpoint. We are the industry-leading endpoint protection and EDR provider out there today. We have the fastest mean time to respond with the highest accuracy. What is the aim of that? Is to free up your resources so that they can focus on the things that actually matter. We want to streamline your security operations, giving you a single pane of glass so that your SOC personnel, your incident responders, don't need to jump between consoles to get to the answers that they need. They can correlate the security telemetry in a single interface, giving them that holistic view. We want to reduce alert fatigue. Alert fatigue is a real thing when it comes to SOC teams. SentinelOne is only going to show you the things that matter in your environment so that you can action them appropriately. XDR. What do we want to achieve with XDR? It's all about efficiency. We want to increase your return on investment of existing tools, giving you an open ecosystem with sometimes bidirectional response actions. We want to reduce the total cost of ownership. We want to facilitate the consolidation of vendors and agents so that you reduce training needs, automation that frees up your analyst time. And as I said, we want to give you that unified data lake so that you can inquire or investigate across all your security telemetry in a single space. AI SIM. What's the aim of AI SIM? It is there to facilitate the reduction of mean time to detect, mean time to respond. Real-time analytics for up to 5 to 10 times faster detection and response. Once again, it's all about the reduction of the total cost of ownership. The aim there is to avoid data duplication. Use a cloud-native solution with a lower total cost of ownership. In some instances, we are up to 50% and more cheaper than some of the other SIM providers in the market today. The whole aim of this is to improve operational efficiency, scale as you need it, with no provisioning and no capacity planning required. Identity. We're wanting to help you secure your Active Directory. As I said, this is not a identity management capability. It is actually protecting your identity asset. Identity threat detection and response from an endpoint perspective. In some instances, we actually employ deceiving capabilities. In other words, we deploy decoy identities and so on and so forth in your environment, making those attractive to an attacker so that we can steer them away from your actual infrastructure, facilitating the protection of those critical infrastructures. Singularity Cloud. Once again, it's all about seeing things in a single pane of glass. So we talk about unified visibility, powered by Singularity Data Lake or AI SIM, coupled with Purple AI, giving you that holistic view and easy access to the resources that actually matter. We implement the attacker's mindset. We prioritize the cloud health and remediation with evidence-based verified exploit paths. All of this, all the technology, all the capabilities within the SentinelOne ecosystem is powered by AI to give you superior threat protection and detection. From an IR, incident response, managed detection and response perspective, we are there to supplement your security operations, giving you SOC efficiencies and adaptability. We give you insights and actionability to the threats in your environment. Incident response, deeper dives, forensic investigations to facilitate a fast resolution to threats in your environment. Purple AI. What's the aim of Purple AI? Traditionally, in a SIEM environment or in a data lake environment, you would need to code what you're looking for. So that was predominantly the task of your senior SOC analyst or your senior engineers. What we do with Purple AI is we empower every analyst. You no longer need to have a coding ability. You can ask natural language questions, find and respond to critical risks very quickly, very efficiently. We accelerate threat hunting. We have guided threat hunts available in Purple AI, giving you suggested queries, auto summaries, and so on and so forth. And it is extremely easy to integrate into your existing workflows. Now, I've been talking about the unified experience. And all of this comes together in what we call Singularity Operations Center. What is the aim of Singularity Operations Center? It is there to consolidate your security operations. From Singularity Operations Center, you can have a unified view across alerts in your security ecosystem, whether that be from a firewalling perspective, whether that be from a Microsoft 365 perspective, whether that be from an Entra ID perspective. If it's Mimecast from an email perspective, we can very quickly, very efficiently give you a single pane of glass to action and see alerts across your security ecosystem without the need of constant monitoring of those specific technologies in their distinct consoles. We put it all into one place for you. We're wanting to streamline your incident response, accelerate the detection, the triage, the investigation with contextual insights for rapid response and risk reduction. You have access to a wealth of information in the Singularity Operations Center. We're wanting to simplify your configuration management. So we give you a central single pane of glass from where to administer your complete SentinelOne ecosystem. So the aim is on consolidation. Okay, we're wanting to centralize your workflows through integrations, intuitive design, to give you enterprise-wide visibility control across cloud, endpoint, and identity. For that, we use our network discovery capability or our inventory capability across the various technologies to give you that asset inventory in a single pane of glass, in a central point. By doing that, we give you a single pane of glass around details related to those various components, those various assets in your environment, from vulnerabilities through disk utilization, through configuration, IP, AD information, installed applications, and so on and so forth. Why do we want to do this? Because we're wanting to facilitate the acceleration of response in your environment, understanding the full scope of what is transpiring in your environment. With things like our Graph Explorer in the Singularity Operations Center, we want to show you interactive correlated visualizations of what is happening from an attack perspective or from an alert perspective, showcasing steps, connections between assets, and so on and so forth, so that you get a complete view of what the attack is actually looking like from a visual perspective. We can conduct much faster investigations because we can leverage the graph library. We can share queries in a team. So it's no longer a single analyst sitting at his machine. That analyst now has the ability to share his findings, share his threat hunting exercise, share his thoughts around the incident with an extended team to collaborate much more efficiently and effectively, utilizing Singularity Operations Center. We are aiming to facilitate the tracking of multiple events from various data sources to identify potential malicious intent through our correlation engine in Singularity Operations Center. Now, I've talked a lot about specific products, about specific capabilities, and so on and so forth. Let me summarize what this is all about. We are wanting to facilitate and help organizations to reduce risk in their environments. At the end of the day, if a vendor comes to you and tells you that they are the silver bullet, nothing gets past them, I politely ask you, please chase them away. They are lying to you. Okay. From a SentinelOne perspective, we believe in security in breadth and in depth. How do we achieve that? We look at proactive security. If we look at the left, we look at proactive controls, things like network discovery. With network discovery, we're wanting to give you full visibility of what is actually connected to your network. And we're wanting to do so with minimal friction so that we do not impede on the operations of the environment. We talk about exposure management. We identify and help you prioritize the risks to your enterprise attack surface with real-time insights. Identity posture management, showcasing or highlighting misconfigurations, vulnerabilities, and active threats targeting AD and Entra ID. Those are all the proactive controls. If we look at the middle, the prevention piece, we offer superior endpoint prevention. We offer superior credential protection, cloud protection. In the event that a breach does happen, we offer you superior detection and response capabilities through things like Singularity Endpoint, our next-gen prevention with real-time detection and response capabilities, Singularity Cloud, autonomous endpoint protection, detection, and response to compute workloads, and then Singularity Identity, for threat detection and response to defend identity assets in AD and on the actual endpoint. Thank you very much for your time. I do apologize for the technical difficulties that we had. I hope that you enjoyed the session, that it was meaningful to you. And we'll take a couple of questions now. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Eben, for the insightful presentation. Please feel free to post your questions on the chat window or on the Q&A window. I see there are 1 or 2 questions that have been posted. The first one is, what is the difference between this product and Microsoft Defender XDR?
Okay, so for that, how do I say this politely? Would you do your homework, mark your homework, write an exam, and then mark that exam yourself? Typically, the answer is no. So Microsoft has XDR capabilities, but those are very much ingrained in the product sets. At the end of the day, the choice would be yours. But if you have a look at the MicroTech analytics that was recently completed, SentinelOne is a top performer. From a cost perspective, we really are much cheaper than the Microsoft solution. We are experts at what we do. We don't just bolt on things. We actually develop capabilities and bring you best of breed capability in our Singularity platform. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, thank you, Eben. I think there was also another question on Microsoft. Is this the same as Microsoft Sentinel?
So no, Microsoft Sentinel is basically the data lake for Microsoft. Okay, a lot of times people actually do get confused with this. However, SentinelOne is a bespoke security platform covering the protection across endpoint identity and then the cloud stack. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And another question.
How do we compare to Darktrace?
Yes.
That's a very good question. So traditionally, Darktrace would be your network threat detection and response capability. In my experience, Darktrace is a very good technology, but it's extremely difficult to set up and maintain. SentinelOne focuses on endpoint identity and cloud protection capability. In the near future, we will be introducing some network threat detection and response capabilities to compete directly with Darktrace.
Okay.
Sorry, Tidi, if I can also come in. So with the Singularity platform by SentinelOne, so what, as we have explained, that we're looking at gaining a single pane of glass, we can now also ingest telemetry from other sources like your dark trace, your firewalls, into this single pane of glass. So like we say that you don't have to replace what you currently have as your NDR, as your firewalls. You can ingest that telemetry into SentinelOne, and then you have this single pane of glass where you're gonna correlate all the telemetry from the different sources. So Michael, you can still maintain your dark trace and just ingest the telemetry from dark trace into Singularity platform. And also, obviously, to clarify, I believe this confusion is always there. Sentinel from Microsoft, which is their SIEM solution. But SentinelOne is a different company. It's not part of Microsoft. So it's a different company. And they are a leader in the provision of EDR solutions, where Microsoft Defender is also an EDR solution. But if you look at your Gartner, if you look at your MITRE, you look at your Forest Wave ratings, you'll see that SentinelOne are actually the leader for EDR solutions. And when we talk about EDR, endpoint detection and response, we are looking at this is the next stage of replacing your traditional antivirus like Kaspersky, ESAT, Symantec, and so on. These are the solutions that we are replacing with your EDR solution from an EPP point of view. And on top of that, we then, as a starting point, a building block for you achieving full security operations in your organization. So the starting point is for us to replace that your traditional antivirus solution that we have been running, and put the first building block into running your security operations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Peggy, on that clarification. I think one of the questions that we also hear from customers is what is the default retention time on the Singularity data lake?
The default retention time would be 14 days. However, if the need arises, we can facilitate data retention of up to 5 years at an additional cost.
Okay. Another question is obviously for customers that want to also integrate their other technology stack. How do they actually ship the logs from the on-premise environments into the SentinelOne platform?
We have various integrators pre-built through our marketplace. And we can literally facilitate the ingestion of any type of log through a generic integrator if need be.
Okay. Is there maybe a log collector that one can actually install on-prem so that they actually send all the logs to the collector, then the collector can forward them to the SentinelOne platform?
Where required, that is a capability, but generally it is done via API integration and such like.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thank you. I think there is another question. This could be maybe our last question that we'll take. You mentioned that you can feed telemetry from various applications into SentinelOne for reporting. That still leaves too many silos to manage. Can you replace all of these security platforms with SentinelOne only?
As I said, SentinelOne is a leader in endpoint protection as well as identity and cloud. At the moment, we do not do bespoke network threat detection and response. We do not do data loss prevention, things like that. So our recommendation would be stick to best of breed, but consolidate the view into a single platform from where you can then action any threats that may be prevalent in your environment.
Okay, thank you so much, Eben, and also thank you so much for your presentation today. We actually really appreciate it. It was actually insightful. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for attending this webinar. Please, we are actually available as Procom to further engage should you obviously want to discuss further how SentinelOne can obviously assist you in your organization in terms of improving your security posture and reducing risk. So you can actually reach out to your account managers or anyone at Procom. We will be able to obviously assist. Should you obviously want a demo, we are actually able to facilitate that. And even in the place of obviously you having a proof of concept, we are happy to actually engage and discuss that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We really appreciate you spending time with us today to obviously understand how SentinelOne can actually assist you as an organization. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Keep well.